So, now that we've taken out Venezia, we have one more thing to do before we can leave Noveria behind for good. Fortunately, it won't take that long, but since I wasn't a gullible dipstick and didn't go down to the hot labs when Ventralis told me to, I can go down there now. Unfortunately, there's no way to go back to the shelter area and talk to the NPCs and see what they think now that Venezia is dead. That area is locked for good.
Tartakovsky, the historical composer?
No. No. Unfortunately, no. Although that might have been an intentional name choice since the Rachni, communicate by music.
So is Beethoven's Fifth just saying fuck you to them over and over?
Possibly. You see, here's the thing with these Rachni, and even the Rachni Queen tells you that they need to be killed. They were isolated from the Rachni Queen while they were growing up. The Rachni Queen is supposed to talk to them musically, keep them mentally sound as they grow up. One of the characters, whichever one that you have with you who speaks up, will compare this to locking a child in a closet until he's 6 years old or something like that. It left them basically cracked in the head. There's no saving them. You have to kill them. Even the Rachni Queen will tell you this.
Hold on. Don't you need a male to get eggs?
So they speak through song?
Yeah, they speak through song.
It's like a Disney musical.
What happens if we play Rick Astley to them? Do they, freak out?
Probably. But essentially, the hot labs are full to bursting with Rachni, and you're going to have to set off a neutron purge. Why this guy is just sitting here and hasn't set off the neutron purge himself, I have no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered.
I mean, I assume he's injured, but, the neutron purge control console is right over there. Hobble on over.
It's clearly labeled.
That's it's right in the next room. There's nothing stopping this guy from doing it. And he's been sitting here by himself this whole time. If you come down here before you go to meet Venezia, he's still here. What the fuck?
You see, this isn't a wheelie chair. I kind of needed to go over there because it would be way more fun.
I am not so much good for searching now, yes?
Huh.
Mother always said I would meet a bad end.
Oh, I didn't see the chair at first.
I am
I thought he was just sitting in a position over there. Oh, wow.
Arming controls are nearby.
The moment you ask the question, this happens.
Then I will give Mira destruct.
Lewis!
Every time I've ever played this, it always does the sound twice. It always goes,
Yeah, Remix.
Well, jeez.
He was just sitting in an open room. How did no one see it sneaking up on him?
Were they just too polite to interrupt him from talking?
I think it came out of the ventilation shaft, but this time they didn't actually show the ventilation shaft opening.
Shepard just wanted to see where it was going,
Yeah, that shit just popped right in.
This is the neutron purge. Now, here's what I want to know. In this area down here, it's called the hot labs, right? Where are the labs?
And it's not hot here. Total misnomer.
Yeah, it is a mild 76 degrees.
I know what the name hot lab means. It's because it's a lab that's considered hot. It's got biohazards and whatnot in it, so it has to be isolated and it has to be quarantinable. But there's nothing down here that's a lab. There's a table and a chair.
A lot of Labrador retrievers, so I guess, yeah.
Okay. Strangely,
I mean, whatever
incestual.
works, really.
Anyway, once you activate the neutron purge, you have to fight your way through these bugs to get to the other side. Don't bother trying to kill them. They will.
Is there a time limit?
There's a time
Yeah,
limit.
it's
It's
right there. Yeah.
it's 2 minutes, and we'll look down at the mini map. That should tell you all you need to know.
I thought we weren't. I thought Mass Effect Warriors doesn't come out for another 3 years.
Something I really like about the self-destruct console, if you don't have the code, if you didn't pick it up off the dead body, Shepard has the option to go like, "Oh, sure, I'll give you the code. It's the."
Oh man.
Plateau, Barada.
And yeah, I just got a level up for killing all of those Rachni.
Huzzah.
You get like a couple thousand experience for that.
Huzzah.
I think this might be the last level up of the game, actually.
What's the level cap?
The level cap is 50 on your first playthrough, 60 on later playthroughs.
Okay.
And it takes like an entire playthrough of New Game Plus to get from level 50 to 59, and then an entire playthrough of New Game Plus to get from 59 to 60.
Jesus.
Anyway, thankfully we don't need to go back down, back up the snowy road, or through the facility, or through the goddamn corporate bullshit block on the at the docks. Why was Administrator Annaleus at the spaceport anyway? I don't get that. Why is his office there, of all places? Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
We just get transported back to our ship.
We need to hurry.
Ah!
My Benezia said she
Jesus.
The poppin'.
He may have already gone through.
Sorry, the projection screen's on the fritz.
They're not fond of alliance ships over there, or specters.
The conduits on Ilos.
Anyway, what we got for that was Benezia giving us the coordinates of the Mu Relay. Or rather, Benezia giving us the Rachni Queen, who gave us... getting the coordinates of the... No, wait. I'm trying to keep this straight in my head. Okay, Benezia had the Rachni Queen, and she was there to get the coordinates of the Mu Relay from the Rachni Queen. She basically mind-melded with it to get those coordinates, and then gave them to Shepard. But she had already sent them to Saren, so Saren already has that information too.
The cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off.
I love this line.
Out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, as we go through this conversation, that I just shot her mother in the face, and she opens the conversation with that.
Sorry I force-pushed your mother.
Yeah, but
It was hilarious.
to be fair, did you see like how cool it was when she was floating around up there? That was pretty awesome, right? Shepard, that seems a little insensitive. Don't worry, I'm sure in hindsight it'll be hilarious.
Boom! Like happy festival fireworks, yeah?
You can cram your happy festival, you big meanie.
Now, apparently Liara is kind of okay with this because she barely knew her mother. Or rather, she knew her mother when she was very young, but hasn't talked to her in a long, long time. Keeping in mind, even though Liara is still young, she's about 100 years old. So that's a long time to not talk to your mother.
Oh, it's one of those elf things where it's like, oh, you're a baby, but you're still like 300 years old. Okay.
Especially humans. I did not
Yeah, more or less.
when we first met Shepard. I found it hard to
And because she's so young, people don't take her theories on the Protheans all that seriously.
We don't have the luxury of time. And Asari can live.
We're lucky if we hit 150. Dude, we're lucky if we hit 100 at all. Ugh.
Do they ever bring up any like kind of failed? Well, not failed. Like any Asari who like were with a human or whatever, and then they die, like after like only 50 years or whatever of knowing them.
There is one
You
Asari
are the one,
who's
Shepard.
considering in Mass Effect 2 to date a Krogan, and she makes a comment like, "Okay, this is a serious decision. It's not like being with a human where you just have to stick it out for a century." And then Shepard just gives her a look. Oh man. But yeah, The Asari are generally used to having relationships with much shorter-lived species than them, so the idea that their partner might die long before they do is not a strange one to them.
Oh yeah, because you mentioned that Asari don't like to have relationships with other Asari. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh dear. This is the conversation I've been dreading, and I didn't expect it to happen now, of all times.
So my mother's dead, but Shepard, you're kind of interesting.
No one uses stasis like you.
You just shot my mother in the face, Shepard, but, the libido waits for no one. No. Nah, that's not a good... Not good timing.
Everybody copes in their own way. I don't think we should judge.
Looking for supplies?
You see, I was doing a lot more side quests in my first playthrough, so that conversation actually happened well before I went to Noveria that first time. Anyway, now that we're at a high enough level, we can buy the HMWA and HMSR whatever's rank 10, the best guns in the game. So, yeah. Basically, you outfit your party with those guns, and well, nothing can fucking stop you unless it's insanity mode. In which case, it doesn't matter what you're using; everything's gonna stop you.
In that case, you better have that gun.
In that case, you better have that gun at level 1.
What's the excuse in later games for you not to be allowed to use expensive guns or better guns?
Your ship gets destroyed along with everything on it.
Ah, okay.
Essentially,
that's reasonable.
Yeah, and you die.
It's not like you're thrown into a wall or something, and then it just turns off the power button on your space.
Oh no! Shepard, the explosion that knocks her into a wall knocks her past the wall into space and into orbital descent. It's actually kind of a miracle that they managed to scrape up enough of Shepard from the planet's surface to actually rebuild her.
Miranda does good work.
See, Samus,
I'm not exaggerating either. You actually do see from a distance Shepard start to burn up during her descent. So yeah. It's they make a comment in the comic between games that like Shepard's remains, you can't even tell what gender she is. It's that destroyed.
Oh, that's their hand wave of not having to tell
yeah.
which gender the player chose for that Shepard.
Yeah, even in the novels, like, Commander Shepard is mentioned exactly one time, and it's in this really neutral way.
I can see where that might give you pause.
What? No.
Now, an interesting thing about this conversation, it's a fan theory, and a pretty credible one, that the Alina that Rex is talking about here might actually be Arya T'Loak from Mass Effect 2. Because Arya T'Loak talks about having a previous identity that she left behind. So, it might just be that Rex's old mercenary enemy...
Guns at noon.
...wound up becoming the ruler of Omega. They never actually meet during the games, though. So there's no recognition or anything between them. It's just something that's left hanging there. So yeah, they had themselves an honorable mercenary duel over it.
I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun.
Now this is an interesting insight into Rex's character, because he's hired to kill this fellow mercenary who he has respect for. But, you know, rather than doing the cynical thing and just, you know, shooting her when her back is turned, he actually respects her enough to go up to her, tell her to her face that he's been hired to kill her, and agree to conditions under which they would fight. But, at the end of it, Alina gets away, he knows this, he tells his client the truth, and then uses it to get more work and more pay from them, as a guard against Alina. So he's not only honorable, he's also really goddamn clever.
Yeah, there's hints of his honor, like, early. Like, if you don't bring Rex to the fist fight, but you do kill Fist, you know, he actually approaches you and says, he actually congratulates you for getting the job done before he did. You know, he actually respects what you did.
Oh, Fist is the name of the character. I was just like, there's brawling in this game? I didn't notice. Sorry. I'm not good at paying attention if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, Fist was the pub owner.
Oh, that guy, yeah. He was towards the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Way at the beginning of the game on the Citadel.
But if someone can survive that,
And Rex just pulls out his shotgun in the middle of a conversation and shoots him dead.
What about the diplomat?
The diplomat who wanted her dead?
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive.
Oops.
I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around.
See you next part, I guess.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he...
That's one hell of a way, though, to get a steady job.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like, I didn't make this contract, but I can give you a new contract where I'm your constant bodyguard.
A little boring, but credits are credits.
All right. So long, Rex.
It's like, I think I'm done. Fade to black.